Hello, my name is Anne Doyle, and I'm an undergraduate student at Virginia Tech studying English and Professional and Technical Writing. I would now like to share my screen in order to present my research. Okay, this is my poster, but I broke it down into different parts to present. So to begin, my research focuses on the explosion that occurred on August 4, 2020 in Beirut, Lebanon, in which 2,750 tons of ammonium nitrate caught fire and exploded in a warehouse. The explosion caused mass destruction and over 200 deaths. My research strives to answer two questions. The first is, are there any significant differences between Eastern and Western media in the ways in which risk is communicated about the Beirut explosion? And the second is, did the Lebanese government's response to the Beirut explosion fail the Lebanese public and cause further unrest? In order to answer these questions, I conducted a content rhetorical analysis of two different media types, news articles and Twitter. For the news section, I analyzed one Eastern and one Western news article. The Eastern source is from Al Arabiya, which is based in Dubai, and the Western source is from USA Today from the United States. The Twitter analysis looks at tweets from French President Emmanuel Macron, Lebanese President Michel Aoun, and the French and Lebanese citizens' responses to both of the president's tweets. The parameters for the articles and tweets are that it must be within the 2-week period from August 4th to August 18th, directly following the blast, to keep information known about the cause of the explosion relatively similar. I also kept it limited to 2 articles and 20 tweets for the analyses. I would also like to disclose that the Al Arabiya and all of the tweets are translated either from Arabic or French. For the news analysis, my Eastern source was Al Arabiya and the Western source was USA Today. The Al Arabiya article is titled, Why Lebanon's President Refuses an International Investigation into Beirut Explosions, and was published on August 5th, 2020. The USA article, Lebanon Launches Investigation into Ammonium Nitrate at Port of After Beirut Explosion, was published on August 14th, 2020. I created a word bank or dictionary for each article to determine the content included in the article and what the main topics of discussion were in Eastern versus Western news regarding the explosion. In addition, I examined each article to determine which rhetorical strategies were employed by the authors to determine whether there was a difference in how risk was communicated in media across different cultures. For the Twitter analysis portion of my research, I replicated this same process. I looked at 5 tweets from French President Emmanuel Macron and 5 of the citizens' responses to his tweets. And then I looked at 5 tweets from Lebanese President Michel Aoun's and the citizens' responses to his tweets. My poster includes examples from each of these categories. By conducting the content analysis of news and Twitter, I found that Eastern and Western media put emphasis on different aspects of the crisis. Western media, with USA Today, and Emmanuel Macron's statements, focus more on the victims and the need for aid. Western media examines the immediate crisis caused by the explosion, while Eastern media focuses on the more underlying causes, such as negligence and political corruption, and also looks at the state of Lebanon prior to and following the crisis. My rhetorical analysis revealed that Western media utilizes rhetorical strategies like pathos and compares disasters across the globe to events more recognizable to Western audiences. In addition, the Western communication about the Beirut explosion tended to be extremely sympathetic towards Lebanon's citizens and pleaded for international aid efforts, painting Lebanon as a country on the verge of collapse and powerless to stop such crises. On the other hand, Eastern media, with Al Arabiya and Michel Aoun, directed their attention to political matters that caused the explosion. The tone of both the news articles and the citizens' responses to tweets were outraged and aggressive. The language used was accusatory toward Lebanese political figures and demanded more permanent solution to Lebanon's problems beyond just the explosion. I would like to thank you for the opportunity to present at the SEAS conference. I hope that you enjoyed my presentation.